My name is Kenneth Bilijo. You can call me Ken for short. And this platform or this channel is actually for us to learn a lot about nutrition and food and how food can be used to treat diseases. But what we have come to learn is that yes, anytime you are sick, it's pills or drugs that you take, but that is not the case. The food you eat, as I normally tell you, that can give you life, it can also take your life away. So in this episode or in this video, just some few minutes, I'm just going to be telling you something small about what I call drivers of chronic diseases. Drivers of chronic diseases. Yes, you can like the video, go to YouTube, you can search Care Nutrition TV. You will see my YouTube channel. You like the video, like or subscribe to the channel so that any video I post, you can also have access to it. Yes, and like I said, it is normal. People feel that yes, whatever I get is what I eat. And like I always tell you, we take food for granted, and for that matter, we eat whatever that comes on our way. But that is not the case, and that shouldn't what be the case. You should food you're eating should be selective. You should know what is good for your health, and you should know what is not good for your health, so that when you are eating, you can eat yourself into a good health. Remember, you can eat yourself into a good health, because if you eat yourself into diseases, it means that you are doubling yourself, because probably the food you bought it, then the diseases too, you are going to treat it, so means double what expenses. So in short, just some few minutes, I'm taking you through some four drivers of chronic diseases, and the question is, why plant food, or why plant-based diet every time? That is what we are talking about. Yes, there is plant-based advantage. Now what we are saying is that the plant food or the plant-based diet, it is something, they are food that tackle food, or they tackle diseases at the root cause of them, or they tackle diseases at the root cause. So if you have a tree and then you cut the tree at the stem, or you cut the leaves of the tree, uh, if it rains or it takes some time, the leaves will still what come up, they will still grow. But if you uproot, or if you dig into the ground to take to remove the roots of the of the tree, you get to understand that the tree will die off, and that's the end of the tree. And so what plant-based diet does is that it tackles diseases according to, or they go down to the root of the root cause of the disease, and then take them from that place. Unlike drug, what drug does is that maybe you are taking a painkiller for a condition. Now what the painkiller does is that it reduces the pain, or it stops the pain, but what actually causes the pain is not gone. So at the end of the day, the pain is gone too, but the problem that is causing the pain is still there. So you later get the pain again, because as times goes on, the pain will still what, it will regain itself, it will mobilize itself, and do what, and come back again. So what plant-based diet does is that it tackles what diseases accordingly. It tackles diseases according to the root side. So it will go down there, pick up the root cause of the condition, and then tackle it from there. So that is why we always talk about plant-based advantage, or plant that is why we are talking about plant-based advantage now. because of plant because of the natural what chemicals, or the natural composition, or the phytochemicals, or the nutrients that are found in plant food, they are able, like I said, they are able to disable, the plant-based, the chemicals that are found in food, the natural form, in their natural form, are able to disable diseases. You see, so that is what happens. And what it does is that, now I told you that they tackle diseases according to the root side. Now look at this one. If you look at the drivers of chronic condition, you will realize that the first one is inflammation. Now the first one is inflammation. Now the second one is oxidative stress. The third one is lipotoxicity, and the fourth one is what? Dysbiosis. Now, if you take inflammation, if you take inflammation, now I want you to listen to this one very careful. I told you that the reason why we are focusing on plant-based in their natural form and not in their processed or refined form is because they tackle diseases according, or they tackle diseases at the root cause of them. Now, this is why it does that. Now, if we talk of drivers of chronic conditions, it means that these are the main components or the main things that cause any chronic condition. So it means inflammation is one. Inflammation is the number one cause of, or is the number one driver of chronic conditions, or even pain. Now listen, it is one of the body's natural way to get rid of infection or any other foreign material or foreign substances in it, or it is a natural way that the body uses to protect what? Itself. Now, if you look at it, you realize that it involves so many chemical reactions that help the body to fight what? Infections. You see that? Now, you realize that if that is happening, if inflammation is happening, it means that there's going to be an increase in blood flow to that place. You see, the place that inflammation is going to take place, probably maybe some inflammation has happened or some infection has happened, so the blood, there will be a note, the vessels will be dilated, so that blood will have to flow there to send all the antigens and antibodies there, so that they can fight the condition or the infection. So that is where the inflammation comes. That is a natural process that happens in the what? In the body, and it needs, maybe let's say the body needs healings. You understand, that place, it needs healing, it needs excavation. So there will be a flow, there will be blood flow will have to come into that aspect. Now, what is also happening is that in this part, if this is happening, then it is generating pain. Now, inflammation comes with pain, and like I told you, every form of pain or any pain that comes in, any pain that you perceive in your system is as a result of what? Inflammation. So we normally liken inflammation to what? To fire. So we like inflammation, we liken inflammation to fire. And as we said, it is possible to have too much of a good thing, and it is often compared to what? To fire. Inflammation is often compared to fire. Now, if you have fire in a controlled amount, yes, you are safe. But if you have fire in uncontrolled amount, then you are not safe. And not even listen, fire is not supposed to be big to cause harm. You can have a small fire which can cause harm, and that means that it's not too much of inflammation that can cause harm. You can have a little inflammation that can also cause harm. But even as we are saying that inflammation is a natural process in the body, now we also have a foreign process of inflammation. How inflammation can also take place in the body, not even because it is the body's, not even because of how the body is reacting to a foreign material or infection. Now listen, this is what you should listen careful. The food that you eat, the food that you eat serves two ways of getting inflammation. You get that? It serves two ways of getting inflammation. Now, number one is if you are someone who is into junk food, the trans fatty acid, the sugars, the processed food, the what does it mean? What is it? The heavy cholesterol, the heavy processed food. Where you are into those food and you eat them, now the body is not created, or the body is not corresponding. The digestion of that food is very difficult for the body. The body was not made for those food, so sometimes the body sees those food as foreign, even It sees those food as foreign because there are, when you eat them, you see that there are other additives and other things. And people who are into especially fried food, when you fry food, I'll give you a video on that. When you fry food, you change the chemical composition of that food. Now the chemical composition of the food that you've changed, that composition, now the body sees it as a what, as a foreign material. So it begins, the body begins to fight it. Now that probably may cause inflammation there. Now that is one side. And then the other side of it is that uh, the process the process of inflammation, when you start, now it starts from a fatty acid called arachidonic fatty acid. Now this fatty acid is found from this processed food, fatty food, fried food, and any other processed food that you can name in the market. You understand? Now if you are someone who is into it, meat, trans fatty acid, meat, triglycerides, if you are into those things, what happens is that you are accumulating much or more of the arachidonic acid. You understand? So if you are someone who is into that, and you are accumulating much of this arachidonic acid, it means that you are also going to get inflammation. Now let me show you something here. We are saying that inflammation can contribute to many chronic health problems, and even can be itself a problem. You understand? It can cause and it can be itself a problem. So it can keep the body tissue from what? Proper healing or proper repairing. If you have inflammation, the way of your way of healing becomes lower. You understand? And it's very serious. It's just because of what we eat. You see, it's just of what because of what we eat. Like I always says, you have to eat to heal yourself. But if you are someone who eat not to heal yourself, in fact, then it is something that is very serious that we have to talk about it. Now, what I want to tell you is that subscribe to my channel and you'll get a lot of videos to learn about food that will tell you what to eat and what not to eat. Now listen to this one. Inflammation. I'm going to tell you something about inflammation, how it begins, and how it works. Now inflammation also begins to destroy healthy cells. Listen, if you have inflammation, you are also destroying what? Healthy cells in your organs, especially at the joints. So if you have, let's say, like your kidney, like your heart, like your lungs, like your liver, so if there is inflammation, then that means that you are going to destroy the cells or the tissues of this organ. Now, and if inflammation happens at the joint, that is where you begin to feel joint pain. People say my joint, my here is paining me. So now I want to actually tell you something. I want to give you what actually put people at risk of getting inflammation. Before I will tell you the process of inflammation, how we get the inflammation, and you get to understand that yes, truly the food we eat is what make us what get the inflammation. Then don't forget that the name is Kenneth Bilijo. What I'm telling you is subscribe to the channel and you get to know more of the videos. You get to understand what I am talking about this morning. Thank you.